All right, continuing with writing or finding the equation of a line. Remember, we want to always, first of all, when you read any kind of directions like that, absolutely ignore anything it says about standard form or slope-intercept form. Just read the words write or find an equation of a line and stop right there and think, oh, point-slope formula, point-slope formula. So, means I have to have a point and I have to have a slope. Well, we saw where we were already given a slope, so we didn't need to worry about that. We saw where we had to find a slope because we had 2 points. But sometimes we have to find a slope because it tells us that, let's say it gives us a point, and so then I always write my point down here. And then I write m equals, and it gives us an equation of a line. So let's say in this case, 2x minus 3y equals 10, all right? So, and what it's going to say is that the line that we're going to write, the equation of the line that we're going to write with this point and whatever slope we get, will be parallel or perpendicular to this line, okay? So that means we need to get the slope from this line. So that just means put it in slope-intercept form. So let's move the 2x over, go away, plus 10, and then divide by -3. Negative divided by negative is a positive. And it gives us 2/3 x. Positive divided by a negative is a negative, and 10/3. And I don't really care about this. All I care about is this slope. So this slope here is 2/3. Okay, now slopes or lines that are parallel are lines that go like this, and their slopes are exactly the same. Okay? And lines that are perpendicular are lines that would go like this. Okay, they have a 90-degree angle in them. They cross and have a 90-degree angle. And the slopes for those are what's called a negative reciprocal. But all you really need to think is flip and take opposite. I'll put the opposite sign. So in this case, if our m is 2/3, then the slope of a parallel line is going to be, let's do this, flip it first. So 3/2, and then take the opposite sign. So this one, the first one's positive, so this one would be negative, and that would be the slope that we would use. So if I was given this point and told that, and do all of this work for this stuff to get the slope way over to the side, it works way better, okay? Then because once you're done with it, you do not need, once you've got the slope, you don't need to think about it at all anymore. And you don't want to put it in here and get it all mixed up with the stuff you do need to be doing there. All right, so let's say the direction said, write the equation of the line going through the point -8, 3, and parallel to this equation. So we found the slope of this equation. It's this right here. And parallel means that slopes are the same. So I just put this here. And again, now I'm done with this. I don't care anymore. And now I put these into point slope formula. And so I get y minus 3 equals 2/3 x, because 2/3 is m, minus 8 okay? And then y minus 3 equals 2/3 x plus 8. And if you can go directly to the x plus 8, I'm fine with that. You don't need to put in that second step, but some people need it, so I want to give it to everybody. Okay, now again, first thing I want to do is get rid of the denominator. So my LCM is 3. So 3y minus 9 equals 3. Maybe I should just do this to be sure. 3 times 3, and then 2/3 x plus 8. Okay, these are gone. And so now I got 3y minus 9 equals 2 times x plus 8. Okay, now I'll distribute the 2. And so I've got 3y minus 9 equals 2x plus 16. First thing I need to do is put it in slope-intercept form so that I can, graph it. So y equals 2/3 x. Oh my goodness, look at that. My slope turned out to be 2/3. And what was my slope supposed to be? 2/3. Very cool. Plus 25/3. And 25/3 equals 3 goes into 25 8 times with 1 left over, and the denominator stays the same. So now let's graph this guy. So I've got a slope of 2/3. Oh, let me write this down. Slope equals 2/3. My y-intercept point equals 0, 25/3. Getting sloppy. Okay, so 0, 25/3. All right, so let's go graph this guy. Okay, so come on, get up there. Oh, computers. And now I got a V. I don't know how that happens. If any of you know how to tell me how to stop that from happening, that would be great. It shouldn't be there. Okay, so x, y. So first I'm going to graph my y-intercept point. So it's 0, and it was 8 1/3. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 1/3. And then I need to use my slope, which is 2/3. So go up 2, 1, 2, and to the right 3. 1, 2, 3. And there is my, hey, come back here. Graph my line. Put my arrows on there. Now this one is 0 and 25/3. And this one, so starting at the origin, but you don't need to put a dot there. 1, 2, 3, and then, so that's 3, and I went to the right, so it's positive. I'm going to go up, so that's also positive. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 1/3. Let's come back here real quick and do 10 and 1/3. So 10 times 3 is 30 plus 1 is 31. So that's my new numerator. And 3 is, we always keep the same denominator. So 31/3. And I'm done. Okay? Now, let's do it again, just so we can go through it and remind ourselves. So I'm given a point, -8, 3. But I don't have a slope yet, but I'm given an equation, 2x minus 3y equals 10. So I want to find the slope of this line, so that's -3y equals -2 x, oh, that looks like a 20. 10 plus 10, and divide by -3. Negative divided by negative is positive, so 2/3 x positive divided by a negative. Okay, and again, I don't care about this. My slope here is 2/3, but this time it tells me, the directions tell me that my line and this line are going to be perpendicular. So remember, when lines are parallel, the slopes are exactly the same. When they're perpendicular, we want to flip it and take the opposite sign. So I'm going to flip this and take the opposite sign. Now I'm ready to go. So y minus y sub 1 equals m minus x, I need to do this again, x minus x sub 1. Okay, so again, whoops, where'd that go? First thing, LCM is 2. So 2y minus 2 times 3 equals negative, oops, oh, equals, excuse me, I forgot what I was doing, forgive me. -3 halves times x. You guys can follow that pretty well, I'm sure. Okay, I just multiplied the positive, or the negative times the negative, and made it positive, and I just didn't do this actual step to do it. Hopefully you're okay with that. So if you need me to do it, come talk to me, and we'll go over it. These are gone, so then I have x plus 8. This funny cursor I have right now, you can't see it probably, but sometimes it comes out weird, and then it does weird things for me. Okay, so again, first thing I want to do is put it into standard form, excuse me, slope-intercept form. So that's going to be 2y equals -3x minus 18. Y equals -3 halves x, and then minus 9. So my slope is -3 halves, and my y-intercept point is 0, -9. Now I'm not going to graph this one unless we have time, because I do want to say a couple of the things really quickly. And that is, remember, if it says it's going through the point 2, 5, let's say, and it has a slope of 0, remember the slope of 0 is for a horizontal line. So it could say a slope of 0, or it could say a horizontal line, either one, and right away you have to think, oh, I don't need point slope formula for this, I just need y equals, and pick up the 5, okay? If it had asked for a vertical line, the slope would be undefined. So it could tell you that, or it could say going through the point 35 and a vertical line. Then again, just think, oh, that's just x equal, pick up the x, and we've got it. And I also want to say, okay, so we've got this up in here. If it told us to put it into slope-intercept form, we've already got that and we're done. But if it told us to put it into standard form, let's come back here, 2y minus 6. So we'll start from there. These things. Equals -3x minus 24. Okay, and standard form, ax plus by equals c, and a cannot be negative, and a cannot have a denominator, only a denominator, and I already got that. So now let's just put it in. So this is I already took care of the denominator.